I dusted myself off and looked around the well-appointed room. Seeing nothing of immediate interest aside from the distinct lack of doors or windows, I sat in one of the richly upholstered chairs and took a moment to consider my new circumstances. I assumed that I was now on Syrah, the lone Tier 10 planet within the Alliance. The reason for that assumption was simple. It was where the Realm Dungeon was located. Time passed faster on Syrah than it did for the rest of the Alliance, at about a 5-to-1 ratio. That meant I could subjectively spend 100 years challenging the dungeon with only 20 passing for my family. Nobody was sure why time flowed differently there, though most suspected it had something to do with being a planet at the peak of what the realm was capable of handling. Thinking about my family was a bit bittersweet, especially after everything I'd gone through to ensure they had a chance to thrive in this timeline. As far as I knew, none of my close family members had survived during the previous one. It was one of my biggest motivations for designing the formation and creating a new time branch. I was almost certain the me in the original timeline had died from the soul damage caused by the formation, but as far as I was concerned, it was a small price to pay to save my family. I had a similar perspective toward taking my brother's place in the Realm Dungeon. It had been my fault he'd drawn the old elf's attention in the first place, after all. Master Kairos, the Kairos sect patriarch who'd claimed me as his disciple upon hearing about my exceptional time affinity, had been peeved when I maneuvered to replace Justin instead of joining him in the dungeon. My mentor had seen it as cheating my brother out of an opportunity instead of saving him from likely death. However, I knew that Justin would have chosen to meet his unborn children and watch his 4-year-old grow up instead of challenging a dungeon on another world if he'd been given the choice. My only real regret was that I was unable to fulfill my promises to my previous party in person. They'd supported me in my hunt for the best reagents, asking only that if the formation worked, I would pass along a few warnings. Since I wouldn't be able to accomplish that while in the dungeon, I'd left several messages with Master Kairos, relying on him to ensure they were delivered to the right people at the appropriate time. I didn't like foisting my responsibility onto another, but I couldn't be 2 places at once. I didn't think that was something a pinnacle time mage like Master Kairos could do. I'd also asked Master Kairos to take care of the Harbinger cult that had been active on Olim around the time I'd used the formation. Knowing they were there preying on people made me feel somehow responsible for their actions. My mentor had begrudgingly agreed to intervene, though I could tell he felt conflicted about getting involved in the business of a mid-tier world.